The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally.
Uplifting WayFM, this is the Wally Show. If you're that person that likes to be first at everything, I do. Like when I'm driving, I want to be first in the pack that I'm in. Like when there's something new out, I'd like to be first to get that, kind of thing. I like to be first in.
You like to turn everything into a competition.
I do, and that's what we're doing right now because we have this dude named Chase and his family that before Support Drive even begins, they put up a $25,000 challenge. That's amazing. Yeah, they're like, hey, look, we believe in the ministry of WayFM. We want to support it, and we'd love for you to join us. And if you'll do this, together we can have over $50,000 of impact going into Support Drive. And so he's going in first. And so we're looking for people that have that same mentality of like, hey, I want to be first in before. Like if you like to be on the inside and you join every club so you can be a VIP, this is that same type thing where you can get in right now and help out your WayFM before we even get to Support Drive and have a hand in starting this thing off right.
And it's easy to get in right now. You could be one of the, we started out needing 100 people. I would tell you how many we need, but I can't tell you right now. But we're
Tracker's not working,
Tracker's not working, but we're hoping for the best, okay? You can text GIVE to 91979 and we will send you a link. You doing that $20 a month is all it takes for you to have $50,000 worth of impact for your WayFM. And that's what's so great. I mean, you can imagine $50,000 has a huge impact on your community-supported WayFM, and all it takes from you is stepping up and doing $20 a month. So when you text the word GIVE to 91979, we will send you a link. That's GIVE to 91979.
And we're trying to knock this thing out as fast as possible. Maybe even before Friday would be awesome. So if you love the ministry of WayFM, you listen to it every day, and you say, hey, this is my station, would you consider joining us right now for Chase's challenge? $25,000, which is huge. Again, like Betty said, just text the word GIVE to 91979 and you can be part of it right now.
We take this very seriously.
Very demure.
It's news-ish.
Very mindful.
On The Wally Show.
I was not aware that today is Earth Day, but it is. Today is Earth Day, and it turns out that most of us feel eco-guilt.
Are you kidding?
At least once a week. If you don't know what eco-guilt is, it's when you feel like you're just not doing your part to save the environment.
Am I a bad person because I never feel this?
No, because the studies show that typically the older generations don't feel eco-guilt, and it usually falls on the younger generation. I think that's mainly because, well, what they assume it could be is that millennials and Gen Zers, the younger generation, they have more information at hand, whereas you as a Gen Xer or the boomers, they didn't have as much information back when you were growing up. You just thought everything was disposable, and you just threw it all out. And now we're realizing Earth is still spinning. We need to do our part to help.
I was 100% down until I started watching documentaries about all the stuff you recycle and how none of it actually gets recycled, or like 1% of it. And that I was like, well, then if you're not going to do your part and you're telling us to do our part, but we're doing our part, but you as a government aren't doing it, I'm out.
Typical things that we feel eco-guilt about are wasting food, leaving the TV on, or really anything on when we're not really using it.
Never.
And trashing items that could have been recycled. And that brings me to this situation. So I think most of us, if we went home and we looked through our junk drawers, we would find a lot of old devices that we just don't know what to do with. That includes your old phones, your old laptops, old video game consoles, even old batteries and chargers as well. Most of us, we don't get rid of this stuff because we don't know what to do with it. And two, you find out that batteries, you don't need to just throw them away because they can leak toxic chemicals into the environment.
Wait, what? What are you supposed to do with them then?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's what you need to do. If you've got some old batteries like laptop or phone batteries that you don't know what to do with, typically Staples, the office supply store, Staples and Batteries Plus, they will take those batteries for you. So they will take the valuable resources, they'll take them out of the batteries and recycle them, and then take the things that aren't needed and recycle of those parts properly. Right. So that's Staples and Batteries Plus. Then when it comes to devices like your phones, your laptops, video game consoles, Goodwill is a good place to start. Goodwill has the best possibility of reuse.
Okay.
So if you don't have anyone in your life, like a family member or friend, that you could give your old phone to, give it to Goodwill. Goodwill will take care of it, and someone will want to use that. If that doesn't sound good to you, there is a nonprofit called Cell Phones for Soldiers, and what they like to do is take your old devices, your old phones, and they'll send them to troops overseas with prepaid phones.
I like that.
Yeah, so they can stay in touch with their family.
That's cool.
And then finally, major manufacturers like Apple, Google, and Samsung, typically the ones that sell you your cell phones, they will take your old phones for you, and they will recycle them properly. Not only is it tied to phones, that also comes with laptops, cables, and other electronics. Apple, Google, Samsung, they will take care of it for you.
Because I have 4 old computers at my house that I don't use. And I literally was like, well, I'm not sure what to do with them.
Right.
And so this is good information.
Yeah.
So that way, like if you get the information, like, okay, and you don't make you jump through a lot of hoops. That's why Amazon was so smart. That's why they cracked the code of selling things online, is that they made it easy to return. Had they not done that, Amazon would be nothing today. But they made it easy. So if you make it easy on people, they will go that extra step to, help the environment. But you got to remove the barriers.
Especially for Wally.
Especially for older people? Absolutely, man. Like, you got to jump through too many hoops. I'm out. So I love that. It's good advice. Thank you, Lady Rock. Uplifting Way FM. This is The Wally Show. Who's this?
Hey, this is Amy.
What's up, Amy?
Well, I wanted to chime in on the recycle thing.
Oh, yeah. Betty Rock just did a whole story about ways that you can recycle your computers and your laptops, your phones, and things like that, and how a lot of people feel guilty for not recycling. So what's your take?
Well, I grew up in, I'm just going to drop this here. I grew up in Oregon. I'm a Gen Xer. So we were green before green was cool, if you know what I'm saying.
Even as a Gen Xer. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I recycled my whole life because when I was in 2nd grade, my teacher put this quote up on the board. It said, when it comes to the earth, we're all in the same boat, and there's only one boat.
Well, Wally doesn't see it that way. He sees it more as, yes, we're all in the same boat, but if I go, we're all going.
Where are the lifeboats, right?
Yeah, I don't suffer from like guilt, like enviro guilt, like Betty was talking about. I don't.
Guilt.
She's like, people think about eco guilt. I'm like, I never think about it. Now, will I look at something and go, oh, could I, donate this? Absolutely. But so many items we buy today are almost disposable, even though they're not. Like, computers get so cheap, like a PC you get for $200, it's disposable when it breaks.
But I think that's where we need to be responsible and realize maybe we don't need that brand new gadget. We can still keep that older gadget working.
I apply that same principle to my marriage. Yeah, I that old model, she's doing great. I'm not going to upgrade.
I don't know if you can come back from that one. That one was pretty low.
Fresh emails.
Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show. If you ever want to get a hold of me, it's very simple. All you have to do is hit me up, wally@wayfm.com. I got this one the other day from somebody that says, hey, y'all talked about how your job changed you. I love when people comment on things we've talked about on the show. And he said, it did for me, but it was my own doing. I like pleasing people and not letting people down, so I volunteered for an insane amount of overtime, losing myself in the process. When the overtime finally came to a halt, I had no hobbies to go home to. Nothing pleased me. Nothing was appealing. It turned into depression. I mean, that's a slippery slope. And I started to deconstruct some of my life choices. I eventually started smoking to fill the gaps in my evenings. I further isolated myself, and I eventually found myself not going to church for 8 months. Like,
wow.
That is definitely a slide.
Yeah.
And it all started from something like good.
You're trying to help.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, even our good things, when life is out of balance, can run on us and can lead to bad places. Mm-hmm. See, this actually has a happy ending, though, which is nice. He says, I finally went back to church last Sunday, and I'm so glad I did. A lot has happened over the last year, and a lot of time was wasted, but I'm finally getting my life back and have been listening to the podcast again. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that.
That's awesome.
Like, if you like the show that we do, that's great, but we also have a podcast, which is the show without music, and we also have something called the Aftercast, which is another version of a podcast, but it's new stuff that we haven't done on the show yet. and you can easily get that.
Yeah, text the letters TWS, which stand for The Wally Show, to 91979, and we will send you a link. That's TWS to 91979 to hear our podcast.
I'm listening to Christian music again, and I just want to thank you guys for what you do and helping me out time and time again. Well, that is really cool. I mean, honestly, we get to do this because people listen, because people support the ministry of Way FM, and so we get to do this. We truly get to do this. It's a blessing for us to be able to do this, and I love when I hear that what we're doing lands with somebody, especially in this way. That's awesome. So thank you if you support the ministry of Way FM. Thank you for your support to keep this going, because it definitely, as you hear, lands with people and it helps them out.
Random acts of audio.
Uplifting Way FM. This is The Wally Show, and today's random act of audio comes courtesy to us from Tyler from South Carolina. He's one of our potties, listens to our podcast, and he says, hey, I know you've been struggling with Facebook Marketplace and having bad experiences. I came across this video of a comedian talking about her experience, and so it resonated with me. So it's a comedian trying to sell a bed frame on Marketplace, and it went south. So she took the entire conversation, including the emojis, and set it to music, and she's reading both parts of the conversation that she's having back and forth. So you can keep track of it. Her name is Lucia, and the crazy Marketplace lady is Eileen, okay?
So, Lucia and Eileen.
Yep, so here you go. Follow along with this and see if your Marketplace experiences haven't gone something similar.
Is the bed frame still available? Yes, it is. Gay emoji. Can I please negotiate the price? No. What? It's free. You're on a hard bargain, Lucia, but that's just not the way Marketplace working. I'm like, okay, how about half price just for you, Eileen? How much now? Still free. Dance, dance, dance. You are the best. Party, party. Here's my address. Wow, that's a long, long way from my place now. How about a small discount? I said, Eileen, I can't be clear. It's free to pick up. Could you drive it to me, please? I don't own a car. Why didn't you say so? I can drive. See you tomorrow at 5. Very, very early the next morning, I received this message from Eileen. Lucia, I'm out the front. Sent at 5 a.m. I said, see you at 5. Please come out and let me in. I should have known not to trust you. Axe, pickaxe, fire. Should have known you didn't care. Vomit, fire. I show up on time. Are you dead? Please. Where is bed?
Wow.
It's funny because then it goes on for a while, but it degrades from there where she says, come back at 8. So she comes back at 8 at night. And then
I can't.
She's like, I'm not even home. My flatmate will leave the door open. You can just go in and pick it up. The lady goes into the wrong apartment and takes the bed from somebody else. She's like, this bed's amazing, better than I even thought. And she sent her pictures, and she's like, Eileen, you have stolen somebody else's bed.
Ooh, Eileen
so
needs
good.
help. She needs a babysitter.
That actually made me feel better about every Marketplace encounter I've had, so I'm not getting off Marketplace because it can't be that bad. So I'm going to keep that in mind.
Uh-oh, you've set the standard.
I just jinxed myself for sure.
Hey, Wally, do you have a minute?
Sorry, busy.
I have cake.
Oh, what do you need?
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example of even though we are busy, we make time for what's important.
Yeah, because going back to school as an adult, you're busy with work, you've got family, but if you want to make your education a priority, trust me, you can do it. Betty did.
Like when I first started, I was super intimidated because it had been a while since I've been in school. But I mean, from the very first conversation, I felt like they were setting me up for success.
Yeah, and going back to school with CCU's flexible online courses makes it so convenient.
Yeah, and what's so cool is every class has a biblical worldview perspective. And so you think, well, how can they turn math into a biblical worldview? They find a way.
Yeah, and that was one of my jobs when I was teaching at CCU, was integrating not just the facts and figures of things, but how your faith plays into what you're going to do.
CCU offers Christ-centered higher education, transforming students to impact the world with grace and truth.
Cultivate your mind without compromising your heart. Get started today at online.ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a non-profit impact partner. Uplifting WayFM. This is the Wally Show. If you've listened to WayFM for any length of time, you know that WayFM is community supported, and that means people like you support it financially and keep it going. And that's when we do support drives. But then other times, people who want to help out jump in early, like Chase and his family did. Chase and his family said, hey, we want to inspire people to get involved and give us a head start as we move into support drive because I love what it does for me and my family. And they put up $25,000 in the form of a challenge. Meaning that if we meet this challenge, that's $50,000 worth of impact or more, like before we even get to support drive. So that's a big, big head start. And we're asking people like you that listen to get involved right now.
When you text the word GIVE to 91979, we will send you a link, and that's the easiest way to get involved. Right now, we are looking for people to do that $20 a month. Now, we wanted to set how many?
Yeah, for this hour.
Okay, we're going to do 10 people doing that $20 a month. So if you could be one of those 10 needed right now, you text the word GIVE to 91979. That's GIVE to 91979.
And we're trying to wrap this up by Friday, so time is of the essence. So if WayFM means something to you and you've been listening and never supported it, maybe now is your moment to give us that head start as we go in. And I'm a big why guy, like why should I get involved? Why should I do this? Here's a great example of how important this is in people's lives for Natalia.
I'm a busy single mom, and I don't really have the opportunity to give all of the time. But I have a son who is on the spectrum, and he was nonverbal for quite some time. He's 8 years old now. The first time I heard him speak, he was singing in the car. It was a Lauren Daigle song. I just heard somebody in the back seat. I was singing myself, and I kind of turned down the radio, and it was him who was singing, and he just... I literally had to pull over because I was so caught off and surprised by his voice. Oh my gosh, it just brought me so much joy to just hear his voice, you know. Yeah, WayFM definitely spoke to him.
That's a gift that God gave that mom. But he used other people to help make that happen. He used other people that said, hey, this is important. I want to support it. And she got an amazing blessing out of it. Imagine that, hearing the words or the voice of your child for the first time and hearing it in the form of a Lauren Daigle song. That's amazing, man. And that's the cool thing, too, is Chase and his family that chose to support. He's like, the reason I'm doing the $25,000 is because I know this is good for my kids. And he said, it's also good for me. It keeps a lot of the bad, negative world stuff out of my head, too. And so that's what we're asking you to be a part of right now in our Chase Challenge. So would you jump in early with us? All you have to do is text the word GIVE to 91979. And again, we're looking for those 10 people this hour to say yes to this opportunity to have a huge impact for your WayFM before we even get to support drive.
The world can get hectic.
Are you kidding?
That's why we like to do news-ish
I need to calm down.
on The Wally Show.
There is a mom in South Carolina that is grateful for a program that was recently started in her area that led to deputies quickly locating her missing 5-year-old daughter with Down syndrome and potentially saving her life. The child was found trapped inside a hot car just blocks away from her home, and there wasn't anything nefarious going on.
Oh.
She wasn't abducted. The child wandered away and apparently crawled into somebody's car. And so, yeah, because she has Down syndrome, and so, you know,
Right.
she sees the world differently, you know.
Right.
And so her mother was preparing dinner, looked away. The other daughter was like, I can't find her anywhere. They looked for her, and police located her. She was literally like 10 minutes away, like 2 blocks away. But they found her in 10 minutes using this thing called Project Lifesaver. It's a tracking system that they launched recently that is a wearable device, like in a bracelet for vulnerable residents, like people with Down syndrome, autism, dementia, people who might wander away from home.
Oh, I love that.
It's so smart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good. And so they found her 2 blocks away. She didn't know how to get out of the car. It was a hot day. And the fact that they found her in 10 minutes saved her life, because they said that on average, it could take up to 9 hours to find somebody like that. And that would have been devastating for that family.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that. And it's a program that they have for free. Now, if you don't qualify for that, there are other options. And I just saw these on Amazon the other day. they make bracelets for AirTags. So they're cute little fun animal bracelets for your kids. So
Yes.
it's decorative.
I've
you can
seen
stick
that.
an AirTag in it, and there you go.
I've seen that, especially like if you take your kids to Disneyland
Yes.
or just anywhere
Yep.
and you're afraid that you're going to lose them. I mean, I've seen where some women will cut holes in the pockets of their kids'
Yes, so you can't
pants,
find it.
And then they put the AirTag inside of there. But they do make everything for these kids.
I think it's a great idea,
Yeah.
man. You can't be too careful, and so like in this case again, nothing was nefarious, but she was lost and she would have died, and so having that device or having an AirTag would have helped save her as well. We got my mom an AirTag recently for her luggage. That's what we told her. I'm putting it in her shoe, and I just keep saying, you have a rock in your shoe. It's fine, Ma. You'll be fine.
This is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. We're going to play a little game here called the 5-second game. Now, you're going to have a chance to win a prize, and you'll take on the winner between Betty Rock and myself. Gavin will give us a category. We'll have 5 seconds to name 3 things. It sounds easy, does it not? Until this happens. The timer. The dreaded timer that causes both Betty Rock and myself's brains to just literally shut down. It could be something easy like name your parents, and you'll be like, "Gah!" when the timer hits, okay? So with that said, Gavin, who's going first?
Who wants to go first?
Geography. I went first. Oh.
What?
Wally.
I'll go first.
All right, it's geography based.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that. Dadgummit. All right.
And I think you guys should be able to do this.
All right, here we go.
I definitely do. Wally, name 3 countries in Africa.
Oh, Ethiopia, Ghana, and Nigeria.
Okay.
Ooh, still a bit of a panic. I've been to all those.
Because you've been there before,
Yeah.
so you think, okay, boom, should come right to mind.
I know. But, they were all leaving me as I was speaking. So that's 1-0. Okay.
I gave Betty, I think, an easier area.
So that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know, because I don't think you've been
If you want to see what a brain locking up looks like right now.
I can't even get around where I'm at. And I've lived there for a while.
All right, here we go.
I just want you to name 3 countries in Europe.
France.
Yep.
Okay.
Italy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
I was kind of surprised myself.
Yeah, you were so shocked by yourself, you stopped
I
guessing.
didn't know. Was Italy in the country of Italy? I'm not sure.
Yeah, country of Italy is in Europe. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay.
England.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well,
Scotland, Ireland.
Oh,
But
don't do that.
What?
You
Not
need
important.
to tell him, Gavin, if he starts belittling me, then
I'm
he
not.
loses a point. Yes, you are.
I was just trying to do it myself to see if I could do it because it was so difficult. I just winked at Gavin. Okay, here we go.
Hilarious.
Give me mine.
I just want you to name 3 cuts of steak.
Okay. Ribeye, porterhouse, T-bone, and that's 3.
Don't.
Okay.
This is becoming a 5-second game where only I fail.
I'm on fire today. This is not
You're-
my fault. Okay, so what's Betty? You got to get this one right, Rock.
I think you can do it. I think.
Okay.
I just want you to name 3 different types of fish.
Catfish.
Yes.
Goldfish.
Yes.
And
Fish.
yeah, like fish. I'm like, what do I see at
Fried
the pet
fish.
store?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bass.
Beta.
Dang it. Yes.
Salmon.
All right. Well, with that, that
sorry,
means
Sure.
Wally has won. I feel bad for you right now because you're going to have to take me on, and my synapses are all firing at breakneck speed. So
He doesn't
if
know
you
what
wanna
that
win,
means, and neither do you.
That is not a good color on you, Rock. The jealousy, the envy. Yeah, not a good color. 855-33-WAY-FM. If you want to take me on now in our version of the 5-second game with you for a prize, you can do it. 855-33-WAY-FM. But you better bring your A game.
This is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. Courtney, welcome to the 5-second game. Now, I beat Betty Rock. I don't want to go backwards, but that's what happened. And so you're taking on me right now in our version of the 5-second game. Now, here's how it works. Gavin's going to give us a category. We're going to take turns ping-ponging back and forth, naming things in that category until one of us can no longer name anything or duplicate something that has already been said. Are you ready?
I think so.
Gavin, what is the category?
I always choose something that I'm like, okay, I can start strong with this, but then I run out of options relatively quickly.
Okay.
And I was surprised by this one. It's different shapes.
Oh, all right. Well, let's try it. Courtney, you're going to start first. Name a shape.
A circle.
Oh, that's so basic. Square.
Also basic.
Yeah.
Rectangle.
Parallelogram.
What?
Triangle.
Octagon.
Hexagon.
Boy, you're right about this. What's a 20-sided dice called? Ellipse.
That was way past 3 seconds.
Was
Yes,
it?
it was.
But ellipse was really good.
No, way past. You win! Yay,
I
Courtney! That was so easy. That was an easy beat, too.
I don't know that you actually won. We'd have to go back and look at the tape to see and time it. But Betty Rock is projected that you are the winner. I feel like it's like election night, you know?
Yay, Courtney!
Thank you. I'm so excited.
There you go, Courtney. I didn't know how that happened, but congratulations.
All right, thanks.
This is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, and it is because we are running out of time in our $25,000 Chase Challenge. What is a Chase Challenge, you might ask? Well, Chase is a great guy that loves the ministry of Way FM and what they do for him and his family, and he decided to put together $25,000 in the form of a challenge to inspire you to join with him and invest in something that he believes in, and to the tune of $25,000. And if we do this even before Support Drive gets here, that's $50,000. If you pick his challenge up and run with it together with other people, that'll be over $50,000 worth of impact in a very, very short amount of time, which would give us a great head start going into Support Drive.
So if you can get involved, if you've been listening to Way FM for a while and you've seen the benefits that it's made in your own life and you want to be a part of it, man, this feels so dramatic with this music playing in the background.
But it is.
And a little scary, too. When you text the word GIVE to 91979, we will send you a link, and there you can give. We're looking now for 15 people that'll be willing to do $20 a month. That's all it takes from you. If you can be one of those 15 people doing $20 a month, we could add $50,000 to your community-supported Way FM. But it takes you texting the word GIVE to 91979.
And if you've ever wondered, like, well, why is this important? Maybe this will shed a little light on it.
This is Brianna from New Albany, Indiana, and I support Way FM. I'll be sober March 5th for 3 years. I lived a really crazy life, so when I got out of jail in 2022, the Lord touched my heart, and I found a church, and I found Way FM, and that's just the only station that I listen to. He saved my life. I should be dead.
There you go. Life change. That's what we're talking about. I love her story, man. Like, I'm getting sober. I was in jail. Like, she is a great spokesperson for change and what Jesus does. And Way FM is a part of that story, and that's what you're enabling to happen.
It's a perfect example of how easy it is to change someone's life for the better. Maybe you feel like you don't make a positive impact in the world, and this is an easy way to do it.
Absolutely. So if you'd like to get involved, like Betty said, we're looking for 15 people this hour to jump in with us and try to knock this out before Friday even gets here. And it would be awesome if you could get involved. If you love the ministry of Way FM, text the word GIVE to 91979, and you could do that $20 a month. That's going to count towards this challenge. And as a result, too, you also get the Way FM limited edition t-shirt just for, helping out, and you get to rep it loud and proud. So that's what we got going on right now. If you'd like to get involved, man, we need you. Not 855, that's my other number. Text GIVE to 91979. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, and from time to time we like to help you out with a thing called The Scoop, where Betty Rock will give you the scoop on something to make your life a little bit easier. What do you got, Rock? I
have the scoop on how to listen better.
What? Nicely done, Gavin. I need this because in a conversation, I'm always thinking like 3 steps ahead of where I'm going in the conversation so that I can control the flow of it. But that's what I do for a living. That's interviewing and that's moving content. But I find myself doing that in my personal life as well. And so I really need to learn to listen more than I talk.
Well,
although I've just talked a lot.
Right? I do this for a living, but I try not to be like this in my personal life.
Right, but I can't turn that off.
You can't.
Just the way I was wired.
Amen.
You're going to have to put $1 in a jar every time you use that excuse.
Okay, so how can we listen better?
Here's how you can hear better. You find yourself in a situation where there's too much going on. There's like rattling in the back, dishes, there's babies crying. You just can't pay attention to the person in front of you. Yeah. So what they say you need to do is take your finger and just tap on the table, okay?
Right.
Now, they say if you tap on the table to the tune of like a music that's playing in the background, there's something about our brains and that the part that controls fine motor functions is somehow intertwined with the part that controls hearing. So if our minds are set to the...
But I'm focused on...
Tapping on... No, you're tapping to the... You're going too fast.
Well, it's the beat behind us right now.
Oh, he's doing the 16th notes. He's not doing the 2 and 4.
Yeah. Okay. So if you slow it down,
he's doing the hi-hat.
Yeah. So then, if you just listen, if you hit your finger on the table along with the beat of the sound of the song, then you're going to be able to concentrate and hear what someone is saying to you better.
Interesting. The only problem with this is with people that don't have rhythm, such as myself. I find myself having to like count 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and like then I'm so focused on my. It happens at church too. If we're clapping, oh my goodness, I lose all worship. I'm like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Praise the Lord. Like I like have to focus on my hands and what they're doing. But I could see this if you don't struggle in that area. Yeah, I could see that working.
Yeah, I think it just takes your mind off of everything that's going on around you.
Yeah.
And makes you concentrate on one thing, and then you can hear that person. It helps you concentrate. Maybe it's kind of like, these kids nowadays, they have the fiddlers.
Yeah, fidget spinners.
Stuff, yeah, maybe it's a fidget way.
I wonder, too, if it would help, like, instead of tapping on the table, if you just took your finger and just tapped them on the forehead of the person you're talking to.
I mean, they didn't specify it had to be the table.
Because it's going to do two things. One, you're doing the beat thing, and then two, you're really focused eye contact because you don't want to poke them in the eye. And you're just like, all right, I'm listening. You're intent. We'll try this in our meeting after work today.
Okay, sounds great. I'll try it on you.
No, it's not going to work that way. You obviously can listen. I can't. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and I have to apologize because I get a little verbose sometimes, run off at the mouth, and I push us later into the hour here, and so it means that we're going to have to drop a song of the ones that we had planned. But here's what we're going to do, because we love you. We want you to help us decide which one of the songs that we're going to drop, okay? It's a new thing we're doing called Chopped when I'm running late.
Whose dish is on the chopping block?
Okay? So we have 2 songs to choose from. You tell us which song you want to hear, the song you're like, please, for the love of all that's holy, don't chop that song. I need to hear this today, and why.
And these 2 songs were actually coming up.
Yeah.
But like Wally said, he just talks too much.
I did. Sorry.
Okay, but that is what they pay him to do.
Yeah.
And so we have these 2 songs, but we're going to let you choose which one ends the hour.
Okay, so which are the 2 songs that we have? Gavin, what'd you pull?
So we've got, for King and Country, big hitters here, their song Joy.
Okay. I remember when they first released this song, I'm like, are you kidding me? You're starting with this one off your album? Okay. And then it was huge for them. And I like it because they always do something a little different, but it still sounds like them. Okay, so that's song number 1. What's song number 2?
Song number 2 is John Reddick and his song, I Believe It.
John Reddick is a great artist, and we're playing a lot of his songs. So here's where the dilemma comes in, okay? This is where you tell us which of these 2 songs you do not want chopped, the one that you want to hear, but the why. Why do you like this song? Why does it resonate with you? Why is it good for other people to hear it? That kind of thing. So you have Joy from For King and Country or I Believe It by John Reddick to choose from now. The fate of one of these 2 songs rests in your hands solely. 855-33-WAY-FM, not to be too dramatic. 855, but I am, 33-WAY-FM for our first ever Chopped.
Whose dish is on the chopping block?
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. Angela, I am so sorry. Actually, I need to be saying I'm sorry to For King and Country or John Reddick. here because we're doing Chopped. We have 2 songs that we only have room for 1 more of these songs in the hour because I've talked too much. So which of these 2 songs do you want to not see get chopped?
I do not want to see I Believe It get chopped.
Okay, by John Reddick. So in your opinion, For King and Country is going to take the hit today, but you want to keep John Reddick. I know. They're going to be fine, though.
Yeah.
They've invested wisely. I think they're doing okay. So why do you want to keep John Reddick's I Believe It song?
It just actually makes me feel better.
And that's what we try to do with all these songs, It's funny because you'd think Joy would be the song that makes you feel better.
Not necessarily.
Why does John Reddick's song make you feel better?
I feel it more. It hits deeper.
That's what this music is all about. It's about connecting with your soul and moving you. And so, you know what? I want you to hear this song today. If you need it and it makes you feel something and it connects with you deeply, it's going to do the same thing for somebody else today, too. Which means, I'm sorry for King and Country, but...
You've been chopped.
And so here we go. Surviving the Chop. It is John Reddick's song, I Believe It, on The Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM.
That's awesome. I'm sorry.
It's not just a story. It's a living, breathing, walking testimony of a God so good.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show. We have support drive coming up, but we're not there yet. But we're kind of gotten a little bit of a head start here from Chase and his family. They love the ministry of Way FM. They love what it does for their kids and for themselves. And so Chase said, hey, I want to make a big gift, and I want to do $25,000, but I want to do it as a challenge to encourage other people to get involved with me. So I'm not doing it alone. And if we do this, if we meet this challenge before the end of the time, we will actually have $50,000 worth of impact. And so I love people that have already said yes to this opportunity. We're looking for 10 people this hour to pick up this challenge and run with it. Just 10 people. We could finish this thing up by Friday if we just do this every hour.
Yep.
Do 10 people an hour. We knock it out. Betty Rock, what is the criteria for this match?
$20 a month. That's all it takes from you. So if we can get 10 people texting the word GIVE to 91979, we will send you a link. And when you click on that link, that's where you can give your $20 a month. But like Wally said, you doing that $20 a month could turn into $50,000. It's all a group effort, and it happens when you text the word GIVE to 91979.
And it's people like, Chase getting involved, and also people like Rael.
Oh, I love this station. It's done a lot for me. I just like how it makes me feel in the morning. I turn it on as soon as I get in my car. I come to work, I turn it on in the car here. It just brightens my day. It gives me a better outlook. I look at things differently. So I don't want to be without it, and I don't want other people to be without it either. If we can get more people to join us and be happy every day and just look past the ugliness, then let's get them all.
Yeah, this world could look a whole lot different. And Chase and Rael are doing their part to make that happen. And maybe you go, hey, I want some hope in the dark world too. I want to get involved. Like Betty Rock said, text the word GIVE to 91979, and you could be part of it right now. Your $20 a month will also score you that Way FM t-shirt as well, just as an added thank you for helping out and being part of the ministry here at Way FM.
Attention, please. Uplifting Way FM. Celebrities are just like you and me, except for the mansions, tigers, and sequins. It's the Rock Report with Betty Rock.
It was only last week when Jeff Bezos' new Shepard Blue Origin rocket took up into space pop star Katy Perry and journalist Gayle King, along with his fiancée and many other women, but it was an all-female squad that went to space.
Oh, the moon! You guys, look at the moon. That's amazing.
Wow, look at the blue line.
Oh my God.
I was starting to say, why are people hating on this so much? And then I hear that, like, okay, I get it because it's kind of comical. But again, I think people are trying to tear down this all-female space crew for some reason, and I don't know why.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because they went 66 miles into the atmosphere, okay? So they're not... they are in space. They did experience weightlessness, yes. And they were up there for 10 minutes and then came down. Well, a couple of people have some theories on the fact that why they believe it's fake.
So that they didn't actually do it?
That it was all a publicity stunt and
like
it wasn't
the lunar
real.
landing all those years ago. There are conspiracy theorists that say we never went to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the first thing that they hang their hat on is the door. And I remember you talking about this, Wally. So when the new Shepard landed back on Earth with all women safe and sound, the live feed, you saw someone inside the cabin open the door from the inside, okay? And then they quickly shut it back. And then Jeff Bezos comes out with a special tool, quote unquote, to make it look like he had to unlock the door from outside. Okay, that just really looks fake.
That's not a
especially
good
when
look.
it's already happened. Like, come on. A lot of people are saying if it was a pressurized cabin, which it needed to be up in space, why would they have it where you could open it from the inside? Typically, that's not the case.
You think they could depressurize it from inside? So like, I'm not as concerned about that one because I would think they would have a way to get out of the capsule now that we learned from the past. When you had to have someone else open it, there were tragedies.
Right, exactly. Some people are just saying, no, it just means that it was tightly choreographed or whatever.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. And then another one that they're hanging their hat on is Katy Perry's hair. So if you saw the video that was taken 66 miles up into the atmosphere, well, Katy Perry's hair and everyone, all the other women, they all wore their hair down. Now, probably they did their full-blown makeup and hair before they went up into space. But you'll notice that their hair, it's out, okay, and it doesn't look like gravity is. It doesn't look like it's weighing it down, okay.
Right.
But when you look at Sunny Williams, who was stuck recently up in space for 9 months because of all these issues or stuff, her hair. It just went out everywhere, okay.
Yeah.
But she was truly in space. So a lot of people are saying. They could have just made it look like their hair was suspended. Katy Perry, Gayle King, they weren't in space.
Have some
also
wind
too,
blowing it.
Why did they need a full-blown face of makeup and their hair all dead?
That.
Why didn't they just pull it back? Because it did look like it was getting in their way all the time. Like, why does their hair just need to be...
I almost think they have the hair out so it looks very weightless when they're up there.
But are they trying to sell you something?
I don't know. I'm really surprised, though, that this is what people have spent time on going, I think that this was fake. Because they've taken other people up. So why would this one be fake?
I guess because it was just so overdone.
Maybe.
It felt like, especially when you heard that audio of them going, wow, space. It just makes people like, ooh.
It's funny, too, that I think it's women breaking down other women, which is probably the hardest part of this to wrap my head around.
It might be, but on social media, it's 50-50.
Is it really? That's fascinating. Well, there you go. I think like the lunar landing, we're never going to know. We're never going to have this
fake.
declassified.
It was all fake. We never made it to the moon.
You say so. I believe in women's empowerment, and I think they're amazing. But that's just, I'm more of a feminist than Betty is.
You have 127 items in your Amazon cart. It's prime time.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and man, I'm addicted to Amazon. And I love the free shipping because we got the Prime membership. If I have to pay for shipping somewhere else, I'm like, they have trained me, And I love how fast things get to your door. But there are some things that you purchase that you're like, I don't know. Was that a good purchase? Should I be embarrassed by that purchase? I don't know.
My most recent embarrassing or odd purchase was, I saw it on Instagram. That's where I went wrong. It's a wrap for your cat. Okay. So, cats are not the easiest when it comes to clipping their claws or brushing their teeth or brushing them in general.
Yeah.
And so this is a wrap that it doesn't have Velcro on it because that could get stuck to their fur and then you end up with a bigger mess than you started with.
Sure.
But it's made out of material where it will stick together well, and you can wrap your cat up like a really tight burrito, and this will make it easier for you to do that self-care maintenance on them.
You know what? That's not too embarrassing. Now, if you got 7 of them, because you need one for each of your cats.
Well,
maybe.
I did spend a little extra for the blue one because I didn't want the pink one.
Oh, yeah.
It's the boys.
Yeah, Boo Boo's got enough problems. He doesn't need that. Like Rayford making fun of him. And then you put it on Rayford. He's like, gummit. Okay, so I get that. Like my latest Amazon in my cart is Boldify.
What's that?
It is hair thickening fibers.
No, it is not. No, it is not. No, it is not.
Yes, it is. When I was on the set of I Can Only Imagine 2, the hairdresser did this spray in my hair, and I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, "Well, it's like hair fibers. It makes your hair thicker." And I'm like, "And luxurious." And so,
Wally.
don't judge me, cat lady.
Listen, though.
Yeah, and so I'm like, maybe I'll try it.
Man, I just became the coolest person in this room.
All right, so with that being said,
He got hair fibers.
what is your last purchase that you are super proud of because it was like a great purchase, or maybe a little embarrassed by?
Yeah.
That mine is a little embarrassed by. Apparently, I thought I was proud for a second, but now I realize I'm embarrassed.
I just needed a warning.
Yeah.
I needed a warning first. I wasn't expecting that.
I want a little bit thicker hair, like a little thicker head of hair.
And, okay.
And I don't want
$12.99 is
surgery.
going to fix all
How
that.
about $18.99?
Okay.
Worth it. So 855-33-WAY-FM. Wow. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. What was that purchase you made on Amazon that you're like super proud of or maybe a little embarrassed by? We'll take either right now. What is the last Amazon purchase, Tammy, you made that you're either really proud of or a little embarrassed by?
I bought a lice.
You bought a life?
Lice. L-I-C-E, like the lice you get in your hair.
What?
What is that?
I know. We needed it for our little church group that's going on a adventure weekend this coming weekend, and our theme for the float was gnats and lice on the flag.
Oh, so you guys are trying to represent the 10 plagues, visually. Okay.
I didn't know how to do lice, so I bought a stuffed lice on Amazon.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out. I'm like, Amazon will sell anything, but you could actually buy lice on Amazon?
I'm Googling this now to see what it looks like because I can't even imagine. Oh, it looks disgusting. It looks like a little tick.
That goes to show you can get anything on Amazon.
That's very true. Just when you think you've seen it all, apparently you have not.
Exactly.
Well, Tammy, thanks for being on with us today.
Thank you. You guys have a blessed day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I feel like I need to go wash my hair.
Me too.
Now.
Why am I already getting creepy, crawly, itchy?
Yeah.
And on Facebook, Penny, she said, "It's not really embarrassing to me, but I bought little fake arms and church lady hats for my chickens."
That's awesome.
I think that's precious.
That is
she
fantastic.
also posted some pictures. So if you don't follow us on Facebook, you should. Just search Wally Show and you can see Penny's pictures of her chickens.
That's funny.
And then finally, Rachel, she bought, and this is something I might need to buy myself, she bought a bag of tiny Jesuses to hide around the house so her kids know Jesus is always watching.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Or just get a couple bigger Jesus with cameras in them so that you can be watching.
Oh, nice. Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.